90-day fiancé, Andrei announces move to Moldova in a grand party without telling Elizabeth. Don't know what's going on. 90-day fiancé star Andrei Castravet is determined to move to his home country, Moldova. He has been trying to convince Elizabeth of the relocation for a long time. But the latter wasn't sure about the idea. She couldn't imagine a future in Moldova with her husband and the kids. Hence, the TLC celeb agreed to a short trip to the country. Potthast wanted to observe things and learn more about her husband's culture during the vacation. She felt the trip would surely give her an idea whether it would be a great idea to relocate to the country. However, Andrei seems adamant about the decision and announced the relocation without telling his wife. He threw a huge party to tell everyone about his decision. How did Libby react? Why did Andrei blindside her? 90-day fiancé, Loren slammed Andrei for pushing Libby about the move. 90-day fiancé stars Elizabeth and Andrei visited Loren and Alexei for their housewarming party in Florida. They reunited with them, along with other stars, including Yara and Jovi. Tension escalated when Andrei started advocating for his idea for the relocation plans. Loren observed how he was pressuring his wife to relocate to his home country. Hence, she asked why he had moved to America when he had wanted to return to his country. Andrei admitted to moving to the country for Libby only. But he thinks his remote job would allow them to live a better life in a cheaper country like Moldova. Loren felt her co-star shouldn't force his wife to do something she wasn't comfortable with. However, things got tense when her best friend, Noga, slammed him for disrespecting women. Later, Libby slammed Loren for being too nosy in her married life. 90-day fiancé, Andrei blindsided Elizabeth about his decision to move permanently to Moldova. Andrei and Libby finally went to Moldova for a short vacation with their kids. The latter was a little overwhelmed on her first visit to the country. She struggled to adjust to living in the same house with her in-laws and sharing a single washroom with them. In the latest episode, Andrei threw a grand party in Moldova. He didn't tell Libby about the reason behind the celebration, hence, Potthast was confused about what was happening around her. She was already struggling to communicate with them due to the language barrier. The 90-day fiancé celeb was having a good time with the family at dinner. However, Andrei stood up from his seat and drew everyone's attention to make an announcement. He said something in his native language, which was difficult for his wife to understand. The TLC star announced, "We threw this party because we decided to move to Moldova." Libby admitted to having a very limited vocabulary and not being very fluent in Romanian. She stated, "Some things get lost in translation, and this is one of them. I feel kind of stupid because I don't know what's going on." Andrei took everyone upstairs to show them fireworks. Elizabeth felt she wasn't at a gathering but a wedding celebration. She was totally clueless about the whole thing. Fans are eagerly waiting to see all the drama unfold as she discovers the 90-day fiancé. Are Elizabeth and Andrei actually moving to Moldova? 90-day fiancé stars Elizabeth Potthast and Andrei Castravet have announced that they are eyeing Moldova for a great future. The couple has been creating drama ever since they revealed their plan to her friends. The besties of Libby, Loren, and Yara couldn't hold back from advising her. They expressed their concerns about the economic state of Moldova. Andrei always wanted to leave America for a better, new life abroad. His proposal to Elizabeth initially made her reconsider whether it was worth it. She stated that raising their 2 kids there would be beneficial, as she would find a new school for them within 3 weeks. The country's cultural heritage is quite impressive, so she finally agreed with her husband. 90-day fiancé, Andrei is attacked for his big Moldova plan. Some viewers of Happily Ever After Season 9 have opined that Andrei Castravet has been a target of revealing his major Moldovan decision. He and Elizabeth shared their future upon meeting Loren and Alexei for a social hangout. While they all started with a smooth catch-up, it took a turn for an argument. Andrei soon became bitter in the process because the cast attacked him quickly. Loren asked him why he even fought for U.S. citizenship when he didn't intend to stay. He replied that he landed in America because he loved Libby. Moreover, his online work made it easy to work from anywhere. For the reality star, Moldova is cheaper and much like the US, which made Loren interrupt him and call Moldova corrupt, not the right place for children. 90-day fiancé, Elizabeth and Andrei relocate to Moldova with kids. Andrei Castravet took Elizabeth and their children to a recent Moldova trip. As they hit a new milestone in their life, he decided to make a surprising announcement. He arranged a lavish spread for a party attended by his close family friends. It was the same kind of celebration they had during their wedding 8 years ago. The gathering had Andrei pick up the mic to elaborate in his native language, Romanian, that he had shared his decision with Libby to come to Moldova. He said that after numerous discussions between them, they are moving to the place with their kids permanently. Despite knowing a few words of Romanian, his wife couldn't fully understand what he meant. "I'm not fluent in Romanian yet," Elizabeth murmured from the group listening to Andrei. In a confessional, she told the producers that she felt like a person who was unintelligent and needed translation. The scenario pushed her to grow desperate since her husband had called for fireworks to celebrate the upcoming move. He ignored Libby, who gave nothing but a confused expression. Throughout Libby and Andrei's relationship, there have been many instances where a communication gap has led to issues. Her limited vocabulary in Romanian has prevented her from discussing specific topics with him on different occasions. Her reaction suggested that she had yet to fully approve of Moldova. Their mutual agreement is required to call the place their new home. 90-day fiancé, Elizabeth and Loren face off in Happily Ever After Season 9, who comes out on top? 90-day fiancé, Happily Ever After, Season 9 stars Loren Brovarnik and Elizabeth Castravet, aka Libby, turned on each other in a feud. Due to their long, heated battle, viewers are curious to know who is even right between them. Once, two good friends have now become enemies. They appeared on the spin-off with their respective husbands, Alexei and Andrei. Elizabeth and Loren's storylines have a shocking twist, which was another cast couple, Yara and Jovi. All of them are intertwined in the filming, either individually or in segments together. Loren and Elizabeth, throughout this latest season, underwent several tests to see if their friendship could withstand the challenges. Both have taken their partners' sides equally and have flaws. Meanwhile, the two other couples were talking about Andrei and Elizabeth. Then, Alexei shared that Andrei informed him that he suffered $75,000 loss in a Moldovan property. Learning this, Loren suddenly took a dig at Andrei, labeling him a dick, and Libby was shocked. Later, Libby found out more about the words her friend used to describe her husband. Libby slammed Alexei for his body-shaming comments to Loren. This broke out the worst fight ever, causing her and Loren to leave the event immediately. Though Yara's party wasn't the best place to argue over anything, Elizabeth couldn't hold back from calling out Loren. She rightfully did it because Loren and Alexei kept on backbiting her husband. Finally, Elizabeth is the right person, not Loren. Despite her also committing mistakes, she had had enough of Loren. Loren never apologized to her for discussing Andrei behind his back. Furthermore, she dug her hole by interfering with his and Libby's Moldova plans. While she expected them not to hurt Alexei, she didn't take accountability for Andrei. 90-day fiancé, Happily Ever After? Star Elizabeth tries to clear the air with Loren about her party. Elizabeth and Loren had a heated argument regarding a housewarming party and some nasty remarks made after it on a recent episode of 90-day fiancé, Happily Ever After? Concerns about friendship, trust, and whether some comments were inappropriate were at the center of the conversation. Loren believed that her repeated apologies for the party event involving her friend Noga and her husband Andrei weren't sufficient, despite Elizabeth's claims to the contrary. The discussion continued after that. Concerns were voiced by Loren regarding comments made on a double date, specifically regarding Andrei's physical appearance and conversations that she felt were offensive. In response, Elizabeth talked about her own weaknesses, including postpartum depression, issues with body image, and how some remarks that were meant to be encouraging instead came out as criticism. The result was a battle tinged with regret and frustration. While Elizabeth and Loren didn't declare that everything was perfect between them, they recognized the value of their former friendship, thanked one another for helping them to arrive at today, and agreed to communicate better in the future. 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Spares no punches in showing how friendship gives and takes, in both empathy and honesty, when push comes to shove. The conflict over the party and comments felt harder than expected on 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? The housewarming party became a test of Elizabeth and Loren's friendship rather than merely a celebration on 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? Loren was disrespected when one of Elizabeth's friends got into a fight with Andrei, and Elizabeth claims she has since taken responsibility for the incident and apologized numerous times. However, reconciliation was more difficult than either party anticipated due to the deluge of fitness-related remarks, conflicting messages, and delicate subjects like postpartum difficulties. Trust, apologies, and the party fallout. Elizabeth started by admitting that Noga and Andrei had been involved in the party incident. She apologized, saying she had done so multiple times, but Loren didn't think the gestures were enough. Elizabeth emphasized that she didn't mean to offend Loren or discredit Andrei, she just wanted the party to be enjoyable, but she was aware of how quickly things got out of hand. However, 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, yes, Loren warned Elizabeth that the harm caused by such incidents frequently persists. She claimed that the housewarming argument increased her sense of betrayal, not because the altercation was particularly serious but rather because Elizabeth's friend was involved, and she felt disregarded when the apology was given. The conversation made clear that when foundational trust is broken, apologies don't always make things better. Comments, vulnerabilities, and moving forward. Loren claimed that she was offended by the remarks Andrei made during a double date, as well as by other things Elizabeth overlooked. She claimed that comments about her beauty and level of fitness came across to her as subtle criticism rather than encouragement. Elizabeth retorted that Loren's perception was inconsistent with her intentions and that she had utilized fitness talk to encourage rather than to embarrass. Elizabeth also talked about her own vulnerabilities, including postpartum depression, body image issues, and feeling obligated to be a supportive spouse and ideal friend. "I didn't expect the fitness stuff to hurt you like it did," she said, pleading for understanding. Although Loren appreciated the candor, he also warned Elizabeth that occasionally, remarks made in jest or as support can backfire. Although they both acknowledged that their friendship now needs more tolerance and defined boundaries, they both agreed that neither of them wanted to break off their relationship. 90-Day Fiancé, Elizabeth and Andrei spoil Yara's launch party after their explosive clash with Loren and Alexei. Yara Zaya was excited to launch her pet accessory brand on Happily Ever After. She wanted her co-stars, Libby, Andrei, Loren, and Alexei, to show some support for her at the launch party. The 90-Day Fiancé celeb was expecting some memorable moments with them. However, Andrei and Elizabeth's explosive clash with Loren and Alexei made things messy. The couple fought at the party and spoiled their friend's special occasion. Yara left the party crying after all the ruckus. She regretted inviting her co-stars and felt they shouldn't have come to the party. Elizabeth and Andrei did the same at Loren and Alexei's housewarming party. Fans now wonder why they can't keep their troubles away from others' happy moments. The reality TV stars are turning every good occasion into a drama-filled session. What does Yara feel about it? What went down? 90-Day Fiancé, Elizabeth and Andrei stirred drama at Loren and Alexei's housewarming party. Loren and Alexei wanted to spend some good time with their co-stars in their new home on season 9. They invited Yara, Jovi, Loren, and Alexei for some fun-filled moments. The 90-Day Fiancé couple also threw a small housewarming party to celebrate with their close family and friends. However, Libby and Andrei took their own issues and stirred drama at the party. Castravet clashed with Alexei and Loren when they pointed out his controlling nature. After their explosive argument, he even called Loren's friend a dog. Andrei threw a huge tantrum when his co-stars slammed him for forcing his wife to move to Moldova. He ended up arguing at the party. Libby supported her husband during all the arguments. She didn't like everything Loren said to him and felt her friend crossed the boundaries. 90-Day Fiancé, Elizabeth and Andrei's drama ruined Yara's launch party. Elizabeth and Andrei have been constantly stirring up drama on Happily Ever After. They have so many issues to deal with on the show. The TLC stars returned from their Moldova trip. Libby and Andrei joined Yara and Jovi at their party. But the former needed to talk to Loren about everything she said about her husband behind their back. She said, "I did hear through the grapevine that you think my husband is a horrible person." The 90-Day Fiancé star couldn't understand that people have nothing else to talk on a double date. However, Loren felt she didn't call him a horrible person. She thinks she only said the things he did were horrible. But the TLC star feels Libby's husband is a D***ck. Elizabeth was shocked to hear everything. Later, things turned messier when Andrei confronted Alexei about the same. He also admitted to reading all the chats between his wife and Loren. The TLC star called him out for body-shaming his wife. Loren was shocked that Libby shared all the secrets with her husband and exposed her in front of Alexei. She also felt it could even ruin her marriage. Yara was frustrated to see all the drama at her party. As per Access Hollywood, she couldn't believe her friends ruined her business party. The TLC star left the party in tears and asked, "Who does that?" Zaya regretted inviting all four of them and felt they shouldn't.